Hey y'all, today we are back into it, and this time we doing a little something different. I am showing y'all me doing a sewing today. So with this, I skipped the braid down part because the footage that I had was like it wasn't cute. But regardless, if you don't know how to cornrow, I'm not the person to teach you how to cornrow. I cornrow good, but I'm not one to just teach you how to cornrow. Another video for that. I put on a net. So the importance of nets. I put on nets before. At first, I wasn't really into nets. Now I put on a net with every single client because one, it allows you to sew anywhere. Two, it takes tension off of the hair that like off of the hair that you braided. It takes tension off of that and the edges and stuff like that. And then what it also allows for is sometimes when you fold trace, so your folded trace in the middle, that dip or that part in that braid, once you sew over it with more hair, once you folded it, it makes it flat, so you don't have to cut your wefts as much. So what she has in her hair, she has Indian hair, raw Indian hair extensions. It's wavy. With that, it goes in it's like a slight wave. It's not like too much or anything, not like curly. It's like a slight wave. It's really, really pretty. um and that's what I prefer to use. I prefer to use raw hair in any of my installs. So I sell raw hair myself to my clients, and I also tell my clients, like, if you don't want to purchase hair from me, or I don't have hair on hand at that particular moment, I give them recommendations on where to go. This hair that she got, I went to go get it for her. It's from K Green Hair Extensions, located in Baltimore, Maryland. Um, and their hair is really good. Their hair is amazing. I love their hair. Their hair is really good quality. You can reuse it and everything. So that's the hair that she has in her head now. So what y'all see me doing is sewing the tracks down. I folded that track. So usually when you're sewing hair, and whether it's your hair or anybody else's hair, I usually do a U shape, and I bring it forward like in a U shape on the head, because it allows for the hair to fall more in the front. And she has a side part, so I went up the entire side part with the hair as well, so it would fall in her face, because a lot of people don't like a lot of their forehead showing. So doing that just ensures that you will have forehead coverage. And y'all should know how to thread needles and stuff like that. So usually I just thread the needle, and once I thread the needle, y'all, what I go ahead and do is I put the needle through the end of the weft first that I'm initially sewing in, and then I go ahead and attach the hair to wherever it is. Sometimes I start on the right, sometimes I start on the left. In this case, I started on the right, and I started up above her forehead, right where the longer part of her sewing is in, because I like to use that as like an anchor track, quote unquote. And like I said, in that U shape, just to ensure that the hair falls in the face. And then once I'm done, how I end the track is I leave a little bit of thread out, and I leave some of the thread out, and with the thread that I leave out, I tie it in about 2 to 3 knots. Y'all can see me doing this now. And then I cut the end of that off to tightly secure the track. Now after that, in the sewing process, what I do is I go ahead and I layer. Layering is important, y'all. I don't care what nobody tell you. Y'all know them pretty curls that y'all be seeing and all that. You cannot get beautiful luscious curls like that for the most part unless you go in and you create layers, at the very least, face framing layers. And that's what I do for all of my clients. All of my clients already know, you coming to me, be layering. I've had some people request me not to layer, and of course I don't, because if that's what the client wants, then that's what they want. But usually I go ahead and layer, and then after I layer, I'm going to go ahead and then curl with the T3 iron. The T3 iron is by far my favorite curling iron I have ever used. I love the T3 iron. It gets so hot. It's just amazing. It's an amazing piece of technology. I recommend. I'm pretty sure, I think I have the 1-inch T3 iron. I love it. So next I want to talk to y'all about safety with protective styles and stuff like that. Now, I trim and oil my client's scalp, on my client's scalp, whenever they are getting a protective style. And the only protective style I do, quote unquote protective styles, are sew-ins. And then I want to transition into doing U parts and stuff like that. It's sew-ins and quick weaves. Those are the only ones that I do, and I recommend you get in a trim and a treatment before you do it, because your hair is going to be put up for a while. You need that added moisture. You need that extra scalp booster and stuff like that. I recommend y'all go to a stylist. Y'all need to make sure that they're not braiding too tight, because if it's too tight, 9 times out of 10 for your head, what it's going to do is pull your hair out of the follicles. Like, with certain things, it's going to pull your hair out of the follicles. I can't tell you how many times people have repeatedly gotten sew-ins and repeatedly gotten braids and repeatedly gotten ponytails, and they have no edges, or their hair is thinning because they keep repeatedly getting the style, or the stylist is doing their hair too tight. I always tell my clients, you never want to repeatedly get a style. You get a sew-in this month, okay, cool. You need to wait. You need to give your hair some breath. You need to give your hair a breather. I understand we be having stuff to do, y'all, but a lot of the time, if that's a repeated offense or a repeated thing that you do, you're not going to see the results that you want in your hair growth and your edges and your fullness, because you keep putting that kind of tension on it. Another thing, when you are flat ironing your hair, again, when you're flat ironing your leave out, if you have not washed your leave out, there's no reason you need to be flat ironing your hair on the highest heat. 380 at the most. I tell all my clients 380 at the most. This is what we do. And all of my clients who wear weaves like that, if they listen to me, they do not have heat damage. Like, the people who do what they're supposed to do not have heat damage. Me, I don't have really heat damage like that, because I try to follow that. And then if I'm not going nowhere, I have a scarf on my head in the house and I have it put up. It's no need for me to put heat on my hair that day. It's absolutely no reason. If I'm not filming, if I'm not going outside, it's no reason to put heat on it. And it's up all day. Still wear y'all scarves. Because when you still wear your scarf, when you're doing your hair, y'all, or when you have your sewing in, it, for one, you still want to take care of your extensions, and for two, it's good so the hair that's on top of your head or around your edges or whatever, it doesn't break off, because your hair still can break off if you do not wear a scarf or a bonnet when you have these styles in. And so, yeah, I just wanted to throw a few tips out there. And then make sure you're continuously oiling your scalp at least 2 to 3 times a week. I say it's not necessary to do it every day. 2 to 3 times a week is good. When you having like braids, or when you having like sew-ins like this, braids, I say also spray a little bit of leave-in conditioner on them as well. I think that's really important, just to keep up hair maintenance, y'all. The reason for protective styles is so we can grow your hair. And now I'm combing out with my Denman brush, but that's all I'm really saying, y'all. I just wanted to throw a few tips out there for y'all, helpful tips out there for y'all. As far as hair recommendations, K-Green hair extensions, that's raw Indian hair, on debut, the hair boutique is okay, and stuff like that. I always do raw Indian or raw Cambodian. Those are my top 2. If you don't really want to do maintenance on those, then a good virgin hair vendor, I would say, is the Vanity Box. If you're not really into the whole raw hair thing, I think that would be pretty good. And then now, this is the beautiful look. I thank you guys all for watching. Miss Shally here is going gray beautifully, and she's going to keep that up. See you next time.